out how the culture
we're fucking with something evil.
Welcome, Fairfield County Infirmary. Some of you have already been here before, so welcome back. Some of you are new. Welcome for the first time. The building actually first was created in 1828. It started out about 1,400 square foot. It was essentially had like a log cabin, more or less. They had limited, space at that time, but they actually ended up growing this building in close to 35,000 square feet. So we went from 1,400 to 35,000 square feet. So it's definitely quite an upgrade for sure. So from 1828 to 1985, this was the county courthouse. Essentially, reasons why you'd come here is that if you fell on desk 2 times, if you weren't able to take care of yourself, let's say either physically or mentally, you would be allowed to stay here. This was also a place for if you didn't want to be with your wife anymore, you literally could just drop her off.
Mom,
damn.
See ya.
I'm
not advocating for any of that. However, there was a story of a gal who was actually 15 years old. Unfortunately, she was married to a gentleman. Okay, she ended up having miscarriage, and her husband didn't want to be with her anymore, so he left her here. She lived here for 55 years after that, and then finally died here, unfortunately, too. Another situation of a story I like to tell is that they used to do like welfare checks and that kind of stuff, like for the local community, just kind of make sure, is your living conditions okay or not, because they would have a place to be able to bring you if it wasn't. So there was one story of a woman with her 3 sons. There was a welfare check individual who came out to see how they were doing, and what happened is that when he came inside into their kitchen, there was just a pot of boiling water and a bone in it, because that's all the food, that's all the substance that they had. They'd actually been living like that for 2 years, because the husband, the father, had actually taken off to go find work, but ended up actually never coming back. So from 1985 to 2013, the county health department was here. You would have had your Board of Education, Child Protective Services, you would have came here for your well permits, your septic permits, your birth certificates, your shots. They had teenage pregnancy program and that kind of stuff here as well too, and then a bunch of like offices for like the pregnancy programs and the doctors and that kind of stuff as well. From 2013, 2017, the building actually sat completely empty. From that point on, they were trying to figure out exactly what they wanted to do with the building, and you guys have already been here, so you've seen the layout. It's kind of hard. It's like trying to turn it, because when Habitat for Humanity first took the building over from the land bank, they wanted to turn this into like a resort facility. But again, it's not the layout really didn't work. Then they wanted to talk about possibly renting out these rooms for artist studios, for Ohio University of Lancaster across the road. They were trying to get creative, but essentially what they ended up falling on the idea of was the haunted house. So that's actually how my wife and I first got started in it. We saw Facebook, advertising or whatever on local groups, like, hey, if you want to come and help out with a haunted house, you're more than welcome to come and join. And so my wife and I, we'd never been to a haunted house before. It was easier for us to work it on the back end, and then we could just be the ones scaring people and stuff. So to figure, all right, that's cool. So that's how we first got affiliated with it. All of the proceeds were supposed to be going to building homeless veteran homes. Unfortunately, that didn't end up happening, but what did happen is that the money that came into the building actually provided for the fire suppression system. So that was a really huge upgrade for the building itself. Unfortunately, that chapter had dissolved, and then what happened is that it went back to land bank. So at that point, Adam Kimmel, who is also the owner of Madison Seminary of Madison, Ohio, and who is also in business partnership with Indiana State Sanatorium, and also the owner of Fairfield County Infirmary now. He had been looking into wanting to get the building beforehand back in 2016, but he kind of got strong-armed out of it just because it was it was like a charity kind of deal versus just a private ownership. But when that ended up dissolving, he was able to get it, purchase the building, and now essentially what's happened is that he's just starting to do renovations. So that first building that we came into, that actually has a new roof on it. It's less than a year old. And then what he's going to be doing next is that this entire broad section of the building, which he's pretty much going to be breaking out area, that's got a couple of damaged spots, that kind of stuff, and he's going to finish out coming to the rest of this way as well too. Put things in perspective, there was an estimate from $250,000 to $300,000 just to redo the roof, and that's not including the gutter work either. But luckily he knows some people that's able to do some roofing work as well. So all the proceeds that are coming into the building are going actually back into the building. I'm sure you guys have investigated before other places where it's obvious that they haven't been putting the money back into it. It's not what's going on. So that's pretty much the brief history. We'll go ahead. I'm just gonna kind of buzz this through because I know you guys, like, we'll go ahead. So we're on the second floor. We're gonna go up to the third floor next. And as you guys are well aware, the lights do work, and the staircases and that kind of stuff. And also, if you need this to be able to see, these lights work down the hallway, and that kind of stuff, the outlets and everything else. So right now we're on the third floor. This is going to be the women's side. So as you guys investigate tonight, if you're curious as to what side you're on, the main staircase bathrooms, those are all the female bathrooms. If you're on a side that the bathroom is in the wing, like it is over here in a ramp, then you're going to be on the men's side. So we'll go ahead and we'll start heading down here. If you guys have seen the episode of Destination Fear, when they came investigated, this is that jail cell door that they had actually recorded it moving on its own. So essentially, when it was the county courthouse, there was about 10 different rules that they had to abide by. Archaic at best, things like no talking to anyone of the opposite sex. Which one? Right. Okay, all right. This is a personal experience. Okay? This room, right? This was the room that we'd actually been doing a small investigation. There was, I don't know, about 10 or so of us in here. And anyways, there was a gal, it was a room as well. And she says that when we came quickly, there was like a man standing back at this corner. And so we were going, like, he was just real, she said that he was like intimidated, you know, by my presence or whatever. And we were all just kind of out there. I'm like, okay, nobody wants to go in here, so I walked in here. And so what happens is when I got closer to this corner and stuff like that, and I had my back to him, she said that he kind of like came out like, hey, better get out of here and that kind of stuff. Because what was happening is that she was feeling like that he was almost wanting to put like his hand around her throat. I get real pissed when it comes to that kind of shit, especially, I'm sorry, but whenever it comes to like a female being mistreated or whatever, I get real upset. And I'm just like, hey, you know, if you want to do something, why don't you do something to me? We had a DR60 and back on the EVP recording, it played back, and it said, are you guys going live? It said, fuck you doing? Like, oh, Class A. I'm like, all right, cool, so we're going. But I went back in here again. And then what happened was that I shut the door, and when I first noticed, like, I thought it was just the light coming in that was kind of messing with my eyes because I was looking pretty much right where my flashlight is there. And what happened was that I started to see some movement, okay? But it was like almost like a cloud. And what was happening is like, it was like energy that was just kind of like swirling within itself, and it started to raise up to the point where it was actually eye level and then got a little bit taller than me too. I'm like, all right, man, I'm done. I have to get out of here. But that's really interesting. This was the room.
This is the same place where that girl was too.
That, okay. So there's got to be more to that story as to why all that stuff's going on. So this is the jail cell. Essentially, if you broke any of those rules, like I was starting to talk about earlier, they would put you in here for up to 24 hours with up to 10 other inmates. It's unclear if they actually let them be able to come out and use the restroom, because you can see here they actually have a slot cut out for the food. And like I said, we'd also let them be able to stay in here for 24 hours. When we first did our investigation ever, this was our first location we ever did it, we were actually able to hear some footsteps. I had something right above us, but I'm preaching about that. Halfway through on the ceiling, half that's rafters for the inside roof access, and the other side's not. But it was almost like tap dancing. It was quite bizarre. And then also we had the trail cam set up here on this dumbwaiter. And actually there was a time where when we were investigating, I walked in here and Orb had followed me. I came back out and then it followed me back out too, so it was pretty cool. But you can also see there's a lot of offerings and things like that as well left on the table. And if you think that this hasn't been used, you know, in this past 100 years or so, that's actually false. When Resident Undead was here, they actually ended up having a gentleman stop by randomly that said that he actually used to work here when the county health department was here, and that they were actually putting mentally ill patients in here even into the early 2000s as well. This, if you guys caught Gateway Paranormal Society, they did a docu-series on Amazon, Fairfield Infirmary, The Forgotten. If you guys did catch that, this was what they have themed out as being Elizabeth's room. That's what it's now been labeled as well. And there's also a cross that's on this, coming up the hill that goes to the pauper cemetery.
Yeah.
That essentially is that they have like the placard name and all that. If you
That
guys,
house's name's on it.
did you write that?
No.
So who else did? Ooh, that's weird.
That cross knocked over.
Did it fall over?
Yeah.
Okay. And if you guys wanted to write any names down, that kind of stuff on there, and any names you guys come across, you're more welcome to. They left that as being more or less like a remembrance, out of respect and things like that as well. If you guys haven't seen a dumbwaiter before, it does work mechanically. It is all the way down at the bottom, so it's not, suspended, waiting for anybody to unfortunately come across and then hit them in the back of the head, sending them all the way down the first floor. It's not happening. But
Thanks for clearing that up.
exactly. It's all right. I'll show you a couple other places that you might get stuck in, but it's fine. But no, so there's no like final destination or anything like that. Essentially, this would have been an easy way for them to be able to get linen, dirty dishes, and that kind of stuff up and down, so they didn't have to go to the main staircase. And right here, you can actually see this is one of the many radiators that we have in the entire building. This would have been pretty much the primary place, the primary way of being able to heat the entire building. That's the reason why the county could afford it, but not so much on a private, because man, you'd be broke. But then they ended up going and putting a lot of electric heaters and that kind of stuff. And surprisingly, there was never any air conditioning in here, minus open up a window, obviously. So we'll go ahead, we'll start heading back down this way. You guys may have already noticed there's a couple of two-way mirrors here. So when Child Protective Services was here for the county health department, this is where they would have observed, how the kids were acting more or less with their parents and things like that as well. You guys are more welcome to go in any of these rooms when the doors are open. There's only a few that are going to be locked, and it's just because of a safety aspect of the ceiling. We've gotten some pretty cool activity in this room as well. I know there's just like randomly everywhere. There used to be a little bird cage downstairs. They put something in it.
There was a bird cage
Dude.
here. Is that spirit dog still here?
The dog's still there.
Or somebody grabbed it?
Where did they put it
It was I think it was somewhere.
They leave the duck everywhere.
at? Okay.
Yeah.
Either the property manager has it or somebody's walked off with it. Yeah, I haven't seen a duck. So that'd be interesting.
I think it was, matter of fact, it was the I think it was by the dumbbell.
The dumbwaiter?
Yeah, if you
Yes.
go back on their videos, now that you know you're looking for it,
Yeah.
you'll start seeing it in their videos.
Okay. No, I didn't know.
I just want to see it.
It's like their
I was
own
like,
little signature.
Okay, cool. No, I hadn't seen one. I'll have to ask Addie about it though.
but they also leave other things too, not just ducks.
like Polaroids.
Polaroids, they leave notes and sometimes
Okay.
they leave multiple different things. But they have, or they some's in plain sight and some stuff I think they tuck away.
You'll be looking for it.
Yeah.
So that all was taken out of the retaining walls. It actually continued on at that point. Go over here, this is where they installed the staircase.
Well, where am I at?
So in 1903, they actually ended up finishing all the construction here. So they had anywhere from 82 to 90 inmates. So 2, 3 per room. So it wasn't like, 6, 7, 10 people per room or anything like that. They didn't have the resources either. But the building itself actually ended up not even existing. A local realty company who actually wanted to purchase the building, level it, to put up dorm rooms for Iowa University across the road here. But they obviously had to do ground penetrating radar first, and when they found out that there were these dots, a lot of them were very close up here to the Pauper Cemetery, but there were also dots around the brick and in between the white brick building as well. And as you guys know, all of the dots are representing tops of skulls because everyone here is buried vertically. There's anywhere from 12 to 1,400 bodies estimated to be buried here as well. There's only, I think, the last 2 rooms you guys won't be able to get into, and this one is going on behind, and that's just all because the ceiling is a little iffy and that kind of stuff. But this bathroom, which they kind of ventured out back into, we've had some pretty cool experiences. experiences there. And then this room is interesting because there's no windows. So when you shut the door, it is pitch black. But we've also got some pretty cool, we've witnessed some light anomalies in here as well too. And we actually had a really good EVP recording, so it was me and my wife, and then we were just kind of hanging out here. We had noticed a little bit of the light anomalies, just kind of like what I just, a little sparkle, a little red sparkle here and there, and a little bit of movement. And so I was just kind of leaning up against the doors, usually what I do if I feel like I'm communicating with something. And then we ended up went through the whole deal, and we got to the end of it. I said, thank you for communicating with us. When we played the recorder back, it sounded like a young boy, a 10 to 12-year-old boy that whispers, like just whispered it. It was class A. It was pretty cool. But this room has definitely had some activity as well. And then we'll go ahead and just start heading up to the fourth floor here. And you guys remember the ceilings come at you, especially in Utah.
Yeah,
Please be careful. When you'll run right into it, it's very easy to do it. You're probably going
See, the man is
and if you trip up steps. Hey, is that walking in? Is my wife coming up here?
Oh, you know. I am in love. I am in love.
Someone just touched my left hand, Brianna. Yeah. Hey, Brayden. Someone just touched my left
This is
hand.
the fourth floor cube. This, you guys, you know why it's called that, but they actually used to have chicken wire infused with glass here, and then there also used to be open doors as well. A lot of noise or being obnoxious in their opinion, so they would have brought them all the way up here. And a lot of folks that came up here have actually kind of felt like disoriented.
He's feeling that right now.
I don't feel good right now at
You're
all.
feeling disoriented.
He
You know,
said he
I'm
felt that
telling
touch his
you,
hand in there too.
it's like, it's almost like an energy, like a
Stand,
whirlwind.
go across, stand in the other room, facing
Yeah,
this
like-
way.
yeah.
Like, as soon as I got up here, I felt kind of,
Like
my
in this room,
stomach
or up the
hurting.
steps?
like going up here, my stomach started hurting.
That, dude, I'm telling you, it's not the first time. Sometimes, if you're a little bit sensitive to that kind of stuff, you'll feel it as well.
Like, as soon as I got up here, something touched me on my left hand, and that's when I started feeling my stomach feel kind of funny.
As soon as we walked over to the third floor, I'm gonna start getting the heavy.
You said left hand downstairs, not up here. I thought.
No, it was up here that's the left hand.
He said as soon as he went in there. I was
Yeah,
right behind him.
yeah.
Cause he said something just touched my hand, Brianna.
And then all of a sudden, my stomach started feeling funny.
So we've also had some other psychics that's come up here as well too. We have had some occurrences where they've actually said, specifically back in that back corner where I'm shining my light right now, that there was like a woman crouched in the corner saying that she didn't want to die as being a widow. We also have had other EVP recordings where it said things cryptically like the cradle was empty. And there was a lot of situations too where females that were coming here, right, that were trying to live here, they came in not pregnant and they ended up getting pregnant and when they that mortality rate for those cases.
Starting to feel better, yeah.
Extremely high. And you tell me
It's just
how
this room right here.
knocked up, you're not supposed to be talking to each other opposite sex either. But I don't know if yeah, I know. Yes, you're talking about the CEOs. This is all dated from late 1800s, early 1900s as well. I found this not too long ago, and I thought it was pretty cool. I put it off with somebody, and rip it off, and then like the date and all that.
Oh,
so who knows what else is behind this wallpaper?
It's not 36. Yeah, when people build
the
stuff,
eerie.
they like to put their names and initials on it.
I mean, it's not even all the way to the that's all they have. I mean,
It's still pretty cool. I mean, back.
But also, this was a farmer's, you never know.
That was from 1936.
So there was also two notable deaths that happened up here. The one that you guys probably came across if you did any kind of research, her name was Jane Household. She unfortunately, so she became ill. The staff told her that she needed to go back.
No, it looks like something's hung there, cause there's another one right there, behind his head.
There's a bigger guy
I
right
don't know what
there.
they were paying. That's kind of weird. But essentially, she ended up going and throwing an accelerant into a log-burning stove after when she was told that she needed to go back to work because she was sick. They didn't want anybody else to get sick. She was in the infirmary. Yes. So she threw an accelerant, it backfired on her, caught her dress on fire, and then she unfortunately passed away about 6 hours later. And then another gentleman, Dolph Briggs, he actually most likely gained access from the 4th floor lookout. Got on top of the roof, you can see it jump off, but he didn't die immediately. He actually ended up having internal injuries and a broken femur. And they asked him why he did it, and he said that he was just trying to self-destruct.
Right?
That would be
that
Can you imagine just like he did it, he's like, crap, like he did it, he's
Like it didn't work.
yeah, it didn't work.
There was somebody that tried to commit suicide near the train bridge in my house. They paralyzed themselves the rest of their life.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So, I actually knew his dad as well.
My dad did it, jump off the cliff and paralyzed her.
It was not that time for that person to go, you know what I'm saying?
I ain't worried about him, I'm worried about the place in my head. Under the be better than right side.
So this is the 4th floor long hall. That's what we were just talking about a little bit earlier. From the mid-1850s up into the early 1900s, this was also a children's orphanage until they ended up building one on the east side of Lancaster. Essentially, this was a 5-bedroom section that people, unknown travelers, people who couldn't afford a hotel or a motel, they'd be able to stay up here as well. The caveat, they had to work with time off the next day. There was a lot of situations where that actually never ended up happening. So if you found it to be a benefit, they would end up getting you to essentially have to stay here and keep working all your time, keep making fun of you, how much you feel, what have you, you're doing a benefit for the property as well. Over here, we have the 4th floor lookout. For private group and stuff, if you guys want to come up here, you gotta be careful because there might be a little bit of busted glass. So you can notice that's all plexiglass now from the birds. The birds run them through it. But essentially they would have went, and when they were doing their rounds, they would have went up here. They had a 360-degree view of the property. I believe that it had 167 acres. It was a working farm and stuff. So as they're doing their rounds, then the matron or the superintendent, he'd be able to come up here, make sure that everybody's doing the tasks they need to. If not, they'd obviously be able to go and correct the action as well. And there's also possible rumors that this could have been used during the Underground Railroad as well. With General Sherman's house being here in Lancaster in 37, this is a pretty big building, it's possible for sure. Now over here, this is the dungeon. So this is the 4th floor dungeon. Essentially, and one of the rules being is that the superintendent was allowed to put the inmates in the jail cell. If you ended up still acting out, or you were just somebody that was just constantly in trouble, you'd probably bypass the jail cell altogether, and they'd actually go and chain you up here for an indefinite period of time. And that's literally how the no, those are all trigger objects, but the hooks are. The hooks are original, and you can see a couple of holes where there used to be others, but they've unfortunately been ripped down. So they would have all of this wall, and then if you guys come back over here, and you can see over here too, so they used to have a couple of hooks here as well. This wall was put in most likely when the county health department was here for code reasons and things like that. This was also used for their storage. When the health department was here also, they had some instances where they had maybe heard like some shuffling, feet talking and things like that as well. There had also been some rumors of seeing an older woman rocking in a rocking chair before that sheathing had been put up there as well too. And there was also a fire that happened up here while people were chained up in the walls.
Last time we was here, we had the rocking chair moved. Yeah, like it was just rocking back and forth.
So now we'll go ahead, we'll head down the front bunkhouse stairs. Just be mindful, you might feel like you're going forward a little bit. It's not exactly square as what it's going to be.
I'll go first.
There is a railing, so you guys can use that as well. Just be mindful. And then also too, if you want to look, there's a couple of hooks over here on this side as well too. So all of this was opened up essentially to be able to chain inmates to what they needed. These walls would have been installed later. These banisters would have been more of the original, kind of how it used to look.
Is there a room with a casket?
Yes.
This is a good room.
Down the field parlor.
I actually caught, footsteps. I caught footprints, like feet, shadow feet in that window right there.
Oh, we're back down?
Relaxing.
Yeah, it's
Believe
really
it
good.
though,
Listen.
because we've gotten a couple of different videos of evidence of seeing things in this windows as well.
Yeah, it was like it was sitting, it looked like it was just sitting in the chair with his feet open the window.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
You guys already know this. This is what we have think of as being a little boy's room. Back when the health department was here, the lady who opened the building up and closed it at night, this was her office. There had been rumors of things actually being moved out there on this mantle as well. Since we started putting like these toys and different things in here, these rooms have definitely started to become a little bit more live as well. These rooms have definitely started to become a little bit more live as well. These rooms have definitely started to become a little bit more live as well. And I know it's dark, but if you guys look out the window here, so the parking lot and the OUL is and all of that, if it was daylight, you'd actually be able to see that there's a creek, and then also up on the other side of that, there's a hill and all that. So all of this used to be county property. This is also where they had their fields and that kind of stuff as well too. In the early fields and that kind of stuff as well too. In the early fields and that kind of stuff as well too. In the early 1910s. They actually were able to bring close to $4,500 worth of crops and livestock sales, which was a lot of money, especially back then. But it was a working farm there for sure also. These two rooms here, these are those chatting rooms that I was talking about that Jane wanted to go into. This is also the room I believe that Kelly said that she had kind of emotion sadness in.
What's been the most recent active squad? Here, like the most activity, recent.
When we get down to the first floor, there's a room that we just cleaned out not that long ago. That's kind of away from the chapel. Very worried in the middle of the decorations and stuff. It was the one that had all that metal and stuff in it. Okay, but that's been open since you guys have been here, so that's cleared out now. That was a pretty intense night, just in the sense of just having some shadow play and also the responses and that kind of stuff. And just the vibe in general was not comfortable at all. So the first floor was good. But we were also getting a lot of good activity from where we just came from. Yeah, if you guys don't care much of those, you're gonna want to bypass this altogether. This is what we have to jump is being a little lower in those rooms. Now back sensory deprivation we were talking about a little bit earlier. This room seems to have done really well for that as well. Also like cat balls and that kind of stuff, REM pods and all that. This is pretty good with all the electronics. That's definitely a good room to be able to do some investigating in as well.
Oh, yeah, this is the nun one. I like that nun wall.
I was
Oh,
saying.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't pay attention to that window.
You want to explain?
Yes.
I
Okay.
live
Yeah, I think
there.
because when we first were here, I've been here since the haunted house. and
Your
that's
phone's
why
actually doing
Yeah.
heat temp?
But I'm pretty sure
I was gonna try it out so I can get the money to get me, so I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see how it works.
Or is it a filter?
It's
Because I know that,
thermal scanner.
because I know I've tried some, they've ended up just being filters.
Yeah, it's a thermal scanner. It was free, so I don't
I
know.
didn't try that, so I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna see
I know
how.
with technologies with phones nowadays, they do a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna see.
Hey, I need everybody's name in there so I can put it on the tombstone.
Okay. If you're putting it on Tombstone, I'll take sausage up on mine.
We're going and heading down the first floor, which, unless you've been a guest here before, we haven't been to yet. Another break room, not here. I'm lost already.
Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine.
So this would have been one of the original entrances into the building, and we've already seen the rest of it. You know, if you kind of look around, it doesn't look too bad, and especially if you've been living outside the elements, this would be a pretty cool place to be able to stay. But they also had, right here where he's examining with the K2 meter, they actually used to have to go and have like the set of 10 rules essentially there as well too. But this was also a place where they would have their Thanksgiving dinners, ice cream socials, Christmas dinners, that kind of stuff, live bands. Come to find out, the reason why a lot of the elected officials actually like to do that is because, well, they like to take pictures in front of them, like they're doing something good for the community. However, there was a legacy of Eagles that article that said the reason why they did these things was that they felt bad for the, quote, pathetic figures that no longer have any interaction with the outside world. And this was also referred to as the Black Market Town also. 1985, Superintendent Norris, who's the last superintendent here, he unfortunately committed suicide in a white building. And then his son actually came through on a flashlight tour last year, and he verified all of that information as well too. So it's unfortunate. They had about 13 inmates here left. And we first thought that they actually went and put them in like a nursing home kind of facility, but come to find out they more or less just kind of let them go out on the road, and that was pretty much it.
Damn.
Yeah, it was really ruthless, and unfortunately, but it's unfortunately what a lot of stories that happen like that as well too. So we'll walk in here. So this is the funeral parlor. So that is not here. That is definitely a prop.
So if I'm correct, this is the superintendent that committed suicide.
Very nonchalant, like standing up here like that. Oh, I was like, okay, I'm sorry. So these two would have been, yeah. So these two would have been waiting rooms essentially when the health department was here. This was also kind of like a cafeteria setup. So this is the physician's office, but I think all of this used to be opened up. There's actually a kitchen that we go to back here as well.
See, ever since leaving that attic, I feel 100% fine. I don't feel sick anymore. It was weird.
So they got some old gray cards and that
As soon as I
kind of
entered
stuff.
the attic, my stomach felt really funny.
So there's
Like,
still some of
I'm
those
telling you,
things that
something
were
touched my
left
left
over.
hand. That's when I started feeling it. You know what I'm saying?
More or less, too.
Right.
A lot of those things were just gutted because when they switched hands, they didn't have anything else left over.
Yeah, think though, back then, they made people practice.
Female weakness, opium, cocaine, tooth drops, and some other silly things like that here, but we have more or less kind of set up what else we could have looked like. Yeah, whiskey.
So you got the cocaine and the opioids and everything.
Hell yeah, they're feeling great here. Now, personally, I don't think that they did any like extensive surgery and that kind of stuff here. Probably like if you needed stitches or you needed a shot of whiskey for a cold, those types of things they'd be able to accommodate. But I'm not really sure about anything more than that. Now that, I think that was brought in for Habitat for Humanity, so that didn't come from here. That might be as old, or is this so that could be there, but that wasn't found here with the building, just so clarify that. So we'll go ahead and start heading back out this way next. Yep. Is there your number of nurses?
Oh, yes.
We have nursing station here that would kind of ledger. Not go in this room, it's for your own safety, please. That floor can very easily collapse if anybody stepped on it. But you guys can come down here and investigate if you guys want to. Where my flashlight is, that's actually the bottom of the ground windows right next to the room also. And then these rooms are also on limits. Just be careful. Please, please, don't get hurt.
I missed this part. Does this one go to or?
Yes, yeah, you guys can
That's
go
what
in
was
there
on the
too.
way.
I'll actually show you, 'cause there's only that on the technical side. Oh, yeah. Pretty much, there's only like, I was gonna say, we weren't able to get in this row. I should show you guys. And if you need to go to the walk, they're opening, so you guys can walk, and then it takes you.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, so that's a little easier.
Yeah. So guys, just be careful, there's a little bit of a concrete ledge here.
That'll be me.
Watch that.
Let me know if you all see or hear anything.
Obviously, back in the day, many people used to something kind of like they do today, and they weren't able to go and open a spot in the proper cemetery or something passed away. They would put them on ice and here, and keep the bodies chained until they could be able to bury them. You guys already kind of drill about the wash bases and things like that. This was used to get their produce, their food, that kind of stuff washed out. It was also used to get the bodies ready for the embalming process. Because you can see there's a couple of drains here. And if you look around the floor, I know some of them are filled, but there's drains all over the place.
I didn't even see the head right there. That's crazy.
Also, interesting story. So, the pauper cemetery out back, okay? So you had the bodies and things like that that were buried above, right? I don't know if I mentioned this yet or not. There's an actual spring that they actually built this building over so they could tap into the water source of. Or they couldn't find out that there's rumors of actually the formaldehyde, like the chemicals and that kind of stuff, leaking into the water source that was then coming in and they were drinking it. That water getting sick. And then also that creek I was talking to you guys about, all of that was also going down that way. So back mid-1800s, people in the creek, getting water, food, that kind of stuff as well too. So that was all kind of going on here also. Now back here, this is a new addition. We actually have, yes. So this is the mall area. We actually got this program from New York. This is a big one back of it. It has like a 1/38/38. So probably 1938. It took about 3 of us to get it in here. We had to put this thing over, take it all apart just so we could get it in here. But for the most part, it's pretty smooth. It does kind of fit it a little bit in steel. So we'll get it close
Yeah, because I'm already thinking about it. How much weight does it hold?
Laying on that?
Yeah, or in here.
Yep. As long as you don't install it ever.
It's
Yeah. You would probably get on it. But this is obviously we figure out like more or less. Yeah.
That's all we were asking.
It would just kind of take back and drain.
You said he's laying on
This came from New York. If you guys have any bodies, now we have some other guests. On here. And somebody get pet or anything.
I think I'll stick to this roll. I think that I was sitting here.
you guys probably remember, so the piping, there's only the one bathroom. If you guys are recording or anything, you're gonna catch the water and that.
No, he knocked insulation inside.
Oh, no.
Right, and he knocked up against it and went right inside.
Oh, no. First time.
Here.
Oh, Lord.
Well, I knew the light, and then you.
Another deep freezer here as well too. You guys can investigate in there if you want to. Door doesn't shut completely. No one's been locked in there yet. Please have your phone on you in case.
But watch the sun, it's not even
I'm
work.
just gonna say, can you signal in
Yeah, excuse me, Brandon.
That would do that,
I
dude.
hope.
I wanna
You can do a head count at the end of the night.
If anybody comes to the morgue, we're gonna see you in an hour, we're gonna come look for you. You might have to come see you.
Thanks, friend. I'll just accept my fate and die.
Right?
This would have been one of the main reasons as to why the county health department wanted to get out of here. So that $4 million in renovations, this also would have been part of it as well. So this isn't because of the natural spring, if you can believe it or not. There is a downspout that's been busted, so it was probably original and rusted out. And what's happened is that it's kicked the water back onto this wall. You can see they tried to fix it with pole-barn metal, but then at the top there was a gap and they just tried to put caulking with the water. So Adam is going to be replacing the roof first, fixing the roof, and then we're going to be coming down here for these foundation issues and that kind of stuff. But if we don't get the water out of the building, we can't do it.
Exactly, it's just gonna keep doing it. You fix it, and by the time you do the roof, it's probably be back.
Whipped up from what it used to be.
What?
Oh, I'm getting ready to ask for it.
Yeah, that would have been upstairs. Yeah,
Animal bone?
I'm sorry?
Animal bone? Fake bone?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, we can break it and find out if it's animal or human. You can tell by the bone marrow.
Over here too, so this would have been the main hot water tank for the building that would have.
Basement, right?
Heat and that kind of stuff. Yeah. Through it, on this way. Now you guys were asking about the down here, we did some investigating. We had what was this room used for? We got 3 separate responses that all said chapel. And yes, but I was brought in after, that was here from when Habitat was here, so that wasn't here originally. But if you kind of look around,
Seen that.
It kind of looks like it would have been.
well, okay, let's think about it too. Like, so 1828, all the way up to early 2000s, they probably would have had some kind of worship place,
Yeah.
especially if they were living here. I would think.
For sure, yeah.
Right.
Well, this looks like the typical worship.
Yeah.
It like.
Pews and like setup.
Every little spot that I've been to, like,
Your typical.
like, this is the typical look. Okay. Bricks and wood, whether it's fake wood or real wood,
Right.
you know.
When we've done some investigating down here, this back corner has been kind of dark. We've seen some shadow play. We've also had a lot of like REM pod actions, the cat balls going off and that kind of stuff. But this room over here is the room I was talking to you about. This is the one that's now online for you guys to go investigate in. It's clean, even though I know the floor's a little dirty, but pretty much we were up against that back wall where I'm shining my flashlight looking this way. I'm telling you, there's something in that room, and it hasn't been investigated very much. I've really spent some time down here, so I don't know how you guys do your investigations, if you guys do quarantines or like solos and that kind of stuff.
Some of
but
us do whatever.
Okay.
You know, different.
when we ended up going and doing some investigating, just looking out this way, this is where we were catching some shadow play and that kind of stuff.
When I walked in, I heard a sss, and I was like,
I'll probably call it on camera. I'm not sure.
yep, that's when I turned around, I'm like, whoa.
Right. That's what we have cleaned up as being the nursery, and then I always like to bring everybody down by here.
Be careful.
This is what we
Sorry.
have themed up in this room. This is kind of like a good average.
You're good.
Look as a living room, baseball, and that kind of stuff.
You're good.
Kind of give you a glimpse of what all of these rooms will eventually look like. But as we've been walking around, there's a lot of rooms. A lot of furniture. Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, go on Facebook Marketplace and kind of get some Victorian era style furniture, not pay out the butt.
Oh, you're gonna say.
Yeah.
Or you get somebody that can make it for cheap.
Right.
Get your own wood shop.
So this is
Yes.
that second to
But it's
third
gone.
staircase. You guys can use this one as well if you'd like. Back over here. You've got the,
I swear I saw somebody behind me. I had to double take twice.
Somebody wasn't shoved in there, especially as a kid maybe.
I'm sure it was the window. I saw something behind me. I thought it was one of you all.
So you guys can use all those
But something was behind me.
This is the side, yeah, because there's a bathroom back here, you guys can go back to as well.
And then 13.
These bathrooms, you guys can go into if you like.
That was them.
Okay.
Catch it.
I caught it too.
Catch me getting scared?
No, I got the door closed on its own for y'all. Someone opened it, and it was on the spring thing, so it shut itself. But it was like, it was creaking and it was going really slow, so I just sat there and waited.
Was it to the stairs?
Yeah, that's what I thought you were down there.
Cool, I like this, just like.
I was about to say if that was.
This is the room that used to have that creepy ass picture of that lady.
Hell, yeah.
Like there was a picture in here.
That's kind of interesting that there's a picture of her. Yeah, right?
It literally, that's the lady everyone kept seeing.
And then, all right, so the last room off to the right, that's just the tool room. You guys aren't missing anything in there. This is the room full of mirrors. We've already talked about that. If you guys go in there, you're on your own.
What do you mean you're on your own?
Well, I personally haven't invested in
wait, I
the
missed
room
it.
because
The
the mirror room.
Oh,
Yeah. Typically, I would stay from all that, but it's used to it.
Good.
Essentially.
What's down here?
Just a couple rooms. I think one of them's that girl Victoria room.
One of them's the
And then the other one's is the one we're not really.
and the other one's the mirror room.
Yeah, mirror room down there.
Oh, where?
So, I can't make sure I sent some shit. I might have to go back downstairs.
That spirit that I heard, clear as day, that said, get out. Can you say that again if you really want us to get out?
Are you Victoria?
I heard like a woman yell.
Okay, coming through here.
Yeah.
And down there's where they said that girl, that room is they said was Victoria's room.
The one who burned herself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. That's not funny.
I keep seeing lights flicker off that fucking
It's
mirror.
probably
It's,
it's probably cars.
and there's a
passing
car
by.
down there too, so you're probably reflecting off the glass. It's a woman we hear. Are you Victoria? Your light just shined on that wall right there. That looked like something stuck its head out. Dude, see right there. See, it should shit off with a heater.
No, I said that earlier. Someone looked at me from the corner. Y'all heard like a slam?
I heard it.
Dead.
Shoulders, knees, and toes.
Knees and toes.
Something just walked in there. Soon as I like,
Truck. It's that truck.
did it
So
really?
you want to help me drive back to the hotel with us, right?
Yeah, we riding back with you. I'm where I am. Is that K2 still going off?
It just did, yeah.
Something is in that chair, guys.
I saw a shadow.
If you saw something, I caught it because my camera's facing that
Yes,
way.
It took off that way.
Yeah.
This had faster shoes, faster unlock.
So you're fast? You want to race?
I caught whatever you saw on camera.
It just like ran straight that way.
You want to race? Come here. We'll race. But you gotta show yourself. You gotta show yourself. I will race you. I'm fat and slow, but I will race you. Is that what you want? You want a foot race? I'm not gonna chase you, but I'll race you. You went this way, where'd you go?
Oh, now that door's open.
It was locked.
That was one of the rooms he said that were locked. And it's,
What's in there?
I don't know. Open it.
No?
You ain't got
Yeah,
no
let
fear.
me
Open it.
Yeah, you don't got fear. The bathroom with chloride. Well, not chloride, but
But this door was locked.
yeah. It's very chemically in there. I can't stand that stuff. That bleach. Bro, I swear to Bob, after he walked by in front of you, something's right here and went that way. Like, that's how I heard it this way.
I heard it back here.
Well, look, stairs. And probably came. Well, look, stairs. And probably came. Well, look, stairs. And probably came up from upstairs. So it probably ringed down the steps.
And there's some more stairs right here too.
No, this is not, no.
Did we go in this room?
I did earlier.
What's over here? Oh, the hot water heater and stuff.
Daddy?
Who's your daddy?
Calls.
Bro.
Something was running too.
Yeah. And I saw the shadow like run towards the steps. Like it was running back up.
I heard it from over there. Before you even jumped, like I heard the run, like.
Yeah.
Alright.
I heard it again.
You heard that?
Yeah.
'Cause
I heard it again.
you heard that?
Yeah.
'Cause
I heard it again.
you heard that?
Yes.
Upstairs.
I caught it on camera.
Why do we? Yeah, but it's gonna come downstairs or go to the third floor when we go up there. Yeah.
See what you just felt? Oh, that's what was in there.
Yeah.
See what you just felt? Oh, that's what was in there. See what you just felt? Oh, that's what was in there.
Oh my god, I just catched the orb.
You go upstairs
Right behind me.
and see if it leads tries to come back down.
What's down this way?
The morgue and
The
shit.
board's right here.
Oh. Yeah.
Design.
It's on. It's upstairs.
That's upstairs. It keeps running back every
Whatever
time
it
we
is
go
is
up.
right above us.
But we did the thing and it had to pass one of us up on
It's-
stairs
it's-
earlier. Well, it could have went to another
It's-
person.
Yeah, it could have went down that way or that way.
Said no stab.
Soul.
You been stabbed?
Dude, that's upstairs.
No, that was him stepping.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
I
me.
seen it out the corner of my eye.
Like what? Guarantee that wasn't him stepping.
No, that was him stepping. Look, he stepped. Are you upstairs? Can you run up and down the hallway up there for me?
You heard that down
It
here.
was right there. Whatever it is, it's right there. It's playing with us.
Yeah, it's
That's
doing
what's
what it's.
going.
What do you want me to do?
I say let's go back up and see if we start hearing it back down here again, because then we know for sure that it's fucking with us and it's trying to get us to keep
Oh
going.
no,
back and
it's
forth.
fucking with us.
Y'all want to do like a portal up in that one room where his...
Oh hell no, I'm not going in that room.
Why?
There was a bed in there.
Okay, stop laughing. Oh shit.
Hey, look at that bed.
Look at the red pod.
You got touch to the right.
Well,
Go back to the door and turn to your right.
this door?
Right here, right here, right here.
Look at the REM pod.
Single door?
Where?
The cot?
Okay, I mean, well, no.
Why is it doing
What
that?
are you talking about right now?
Look.
I'm not that
I think I went to the show.
Hey, look at that.
We're like a battery, and you're right.
I think your battery done.
Ooh, damn. My ear's ringing.
You alright?
Last time my fucking ear rang, it was at the opera house. When somebody yelled in it.
You know that little vacuum I showed you?
Yeah.
And those don't work? I was also hearing that as we heard the ladies talk, that lady talker speak or whatever.
That's that she hears kids.
Like last time I had somebody scream in my ear. It was
Where they used to
Yeah,
keep
we're in the jail cell.
prisoners. This is the jail cell. And you can see right there's the door that apparently is supposed to close by itself, which I have not caught that yet.
Yeah, that door's heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy.
It definitely gonna take some energy to move. And they have energy tonight, so I know they can move it if
If
they
y'all
want.
watch Destination Fears, Fairfield Infirmary, you'll see Tanner was sitting in the hallway here, and you see that door like move, like it's going to close, but it don't close all the way. I heard something.
I thought it said Hensley.
Are you calling for me?
Hensley again, bro.
Yeah, I heard that one.
I'm hoping we're catching this shit on our mics.
Who's calling me? Well, I just got cold chills through my body.
That's me moving. I'm going through my voice recorder, hoping we can capture it.
Does somebody want to talk to me?
I'm hearing a woman's voice nonstop.
Yeah. I heard that, Dad.
Yeah.
That was me.
No, like it came from that way.
Oh.
Like it was
I'm
like,
tapping
it was like
on
a
it.
small little. But
Do
it was
you,
like
do you
this.
want me to come somewhere? Make a knocking noise if you want me to come to you.
You heard that, right?
That was my chair. That's because I left my head up and it shifted weight in the chair. I just keep hearing a woman's voice.
Yeah.
Y'all heard that creaking,
That
right?
was that was the chair. Mel voice that time. Was it not? Because it was deep.
See what I'm gonna do is my first video is gonna be that.
That's card.
Yeah, that's in corner.
Should we go to a different room?
So why was you yelling for me?
Like, because the voices sound like they're distant. Like a little fall.
It's a creak.
As it was just a creak in the floor when I did this.
Still say Hensley.
It just did it after you.
Can you say my name?
You heard like a whistle?
Yeah, but I heard the woman's voice go Dylan.
I heard it.
All souls.
You heard that? You heard that?
that?
You heard that?
That was close.
Yeah.
But
And I swear to God, there was a shadow that just walked past the mirror or window.
That's in this room. That sounded like a little kid.
As there was a shadow that walked past the window.
there it is again.
Is that? Are you crying? Are you weeping?
That's what I heard, like a weep, like,
Like a baby, like a kid, like weeping. Are you the kid who lost his parents?
I got hella cold chills, like, I'm getting goosebumps.
We're fucking with something evil.
Adrian, she said that's what she got in her head for.
You heard that?
No, we're leaving.
I said, Mom.
We're fucking with something evil.
You heard that?
Yeah, come on. I didn't pick you up. You got it? You got it?
No, that was no.
No, we're
That
fucking
was
with
clear as
something
day.
evil. We're like, because I got my warning. We're fucking with something evil. That's like the Whispers Estate when the shit got south. I got a warning from Bobby and them. So I'm going.
I'm keeping an eye on that gate.
You know you cannot attach yourself to me.
You gotta stay here.
You're not allowed to mess with me.
You're not allowed to mess with any of us, attach yourself to any of our equipment or anything that we came with. You cannot attach yourself to our vehicles, our personal belongings, or ourselves.
Dude, the shadow fucking popped out of here. The shadow had popped out of there.
Go. So details.
Dude, right in front of me, a
Don't
shadow
run,
had
don't run
popped
up
out.
that. Don't run, I'm not running.
You're not running those
We
off.
just need to go.
Ah,
We need to go and recuperate.
we're not scared of you.
That was a clear as day whipper.
It said Roger.
Am I going first or you?
It said Roger and it said faster.